everybody. We are back again. I was so distracted by the chat going on that I almost forgot to start the stream. But yeah, we're gonna make a coloring page today, and based off of the suggestion we had on the original post, we're gonna do a screenshot of Macon's Diner. Marshall, can you turn down your monitor? The screen is too bright and I'm too lazy to do it on my end. No, I cannot do that. So yeah, we're gonna be doing a shot for Macon's Diner. The fun thing is, I haven't looked at the design in months, and I think I've only really drawn like 4 shots looking like of the interior. And they kind of match, so we're just gonna be making up as I go. Oh, touch the cord. Damn it! I also forgot to move this down. Okay, hopefully that is better. Yeah, you guys really like Macon. So yeah, so I threw down some perspective points already. And I think this should work. Actually, I'm gonna move them down a little bit. It's a little too close to the center of the page, and you want it to... About there should be good. There we go. Okay, apparently the mic is not good because Jasper came in to mess with it. Jasper is staging an assault. Who wouldn't love Macon? You can't be coming in here slapping. They're gonna think you're hitting me.
Staging an assault. Does it sound better yet?
Does it sound better yet? Whoa, my ears. Oh, there's the audio.
Perfect.
Have I been talking this whole time and none of you could hear me? Because, well, no, you brought up Macon. Obviously, you can hear me a little bit. Was that domestic abuse? Yes. Yeah, let's get started. Also, I have had basically no time to plan this out. I posted that we were going to be doing this. I set up the stream, and then we went for a run. So I haven't actually planned out what I want the layout to be, or anything. So if you have any suggestions on what you would like to see, feel free to throw it out there. Oh, that's a bad spot for that. Maybe here-ish for the corner of the room. Something like this, and then maybe we could have okay, so there's a door in the corner, and then he has like the long counter. That'd be kind of like that. But I'd like to show the window. Back of house. I haven't designed any of the back of house for... Why are you back?
Onomatopoeia.
Okay. That was weird, right? Alright. Strange. Host stand. Marshall, what suggestion did you take? More coyote. I just assume these streams are 80% normal. I can't follow everything. Yeah, no, they're weird. Okay. Maybe if we shrink things down a little bit. Well, that does not work. I have already changed my mind about moving the perspective point. We're moving it up instead. Marshall asked them about the thing. Oh, right. Okay, so we had a company reach out to us, and they want to do that thing where they design and produce a Hazel plush. I don't think they're super big. But they need like 100 sales before they would actually put that into production, and we're worried because we don't think we would be able to get 100 sales. We also feel a little weird about it because we just made Graycove sewing patterns because we couldn't find any good companies that do plushes, but it does seem like this one has at least a somewhat ethical source that they're getting them from. So we're gonna make a poll to see which one of you would actually would like a Hazel plush, to try and figure out the numbers before we actually agreed to anything. And yeah, they told us they wanted to do Hazel specifically. But like, if it did go well, we could potentially do another one. But yeah, they emailed us asking about it. There we go. Oh, thank you, Crispy. But yeah, so we're very much on the fence because it would be a little embarrassing to have them start doing this and then we post, you know, shorts and on Webtoon talking about it and being like, go check out this Hazel plush, and then we just don't meet it. That would just be kind of embarrassing, you know? So we wanted to get your guys' opinions here and get your opinions. We're probably going to make another post just on the community page. Hey Marshall, there's a joke that was created on the Discord. It's where Russell and Griff are secretly gay for each other and they don't know it since Russell gets a slap on the wrist for cryings. Interesting. What do you guys talk about in the Discord? Is it mostly that? Can't even get them to do Russell or Griff, lol. Yeah, Clive is definitely not happening. Wow, 10% voted no, we hate it. Guess it's not happening. It wasn't Gimme Swag, it was a different company. Okay. Anyways, back to what we were doing. So I think if we put the corner of the room like here. Possibly. We're just very roughly following these guidelines. Or do I want... Sorry, I just need to play around with this a little bit before I fully decide. Could do more of a this, and then have this be that like order window. And then have a counter about here. Let's probably go to about here-ish. Sorry, this is gonna be a very terrible drawing to start. I just want to figure out how I want to do the layout, and that's too long for the counter, so maybe closer to here, let's say. There might be a gap over here where he can actually walk out from behind the counter. But yeah, we would have to hit 100 sales before they would even get made, so I don't know if we're gonna do that or not, because again, it'd be a little embarrassing, but if it was successful, then we could probably talk to them about doing like a Griff one. 100 feels like a lot though, right? The 8% who voted no are from the hyena camp. But yeah, then Griff would also have to hit 100 sales. That feels like a big ask. And yeah, it would just be like a limited time thing. Like from what I could see on their website, they had a couple up and they were all listed under limited edition. So I think they have to surpass 100, and then the amount of sales that they get within like 23 days is probably the cutoff, and then they make all of those and then they send them out. I'll make sure to share this around on other sites you guys aren't on so we can get that 100. Well, we're not 100% sure yet if we're gonna do that. So maybe don't post yet. It's alright, everyone, just buy 5. Thanks, Ben. And there would be a window over here. I'm just saying, like, when it's official. Oh, yeah. Realistically, and not hating here, I probably wouldn't... Oh, where'd it go? I already have all the stuff for Hazel and Griff and Russell, so if they made a Hazel one, I probably wouldn't buy it. Yeah, no, that is completely fair, and that was one of the reasons as well where we're thinking, like, maybe not. Because we just posted like all of the plush patterns and people are making them. We're like, I don't know. I don't know if they'd be into this. It kind of depends on the price for me. I think they were between like $30 and $40 before tax. I did take a look at one point at their other plushes, but I don't remember off the top of my head the exact number. This angle kind of works. I would like to see, I think, at least the corner of the door that goes into the back room. Okay. We have the door here. Counter could start about here-ish. I've bought plushes from Makeshift that go around the price, so I'm ready to buy it. You're cutting it close, but I can do it. Most stuff is expensive because it's handmade. For that price, I'll buy 2. But yeah, we'll have another conversation after the stream and like probably do another poll to see where everyone lands. Okay, that definitely feels too long. Make everything a bit bigger. Probably move this down a little bit so the starting point. Oh no, that's too far. That's too far. Halfway. I feel like part of my brain has just forgotten how to do layouts. The second I started the stream, all of the information just flew out of my brain. Yeah, and like Jasper said, we're trying to get more information about where they're being made. Because they are coming from China, so we just want to make sure it's not coming from a sweatshop. Hello, Other Marshall. Thank you for joining us. So yeah, we want to get some clear answers from them before we agree to anything. It still feels a little long for his counter, but I think his counter is kind of long. Oh, and I can see in one of these other pictures, it wraps around on both sides, so this side would also come back towards the corner. Okay, so I think I might have messed up in one of the shorts because I thought the counter was against the wall, the far wall, but I think in the original design I actually had it just wrap like a U shape. So there was some space between the counter and the wall, potentially for another table. I really need to come back and just redesign this whole interior, because I did the original one forever ago and I'm clearly blanking on where stuff goes. And I don't think the original concept art was very fleshed out. Oh wait, actually Jasper Marshall, I was gonna ask you this earlier, but I forgot. How did you guys make the Anime Marshall website / Tales from Graycove comic site? So that started as a school assignment, because I had to have a, it's Squarespace that we make it through, and it's really easy to use, which is nice, but it's about, I want to say $36 a month? I think it's Squarespace. It's nice because it's really easy to use. You can set up a shop in it that costs a little bit more per month, which I was paying for a little bit, but no one was buying stuff, so I took it down. Yeah, it works pretty good. And yeah, it was a school assignment to make a portfolio website that just turned into, okay, this is just my permanent website now. Okay, so this counter would come back this way. So the end of it would be about here. Well, no, this one would probably go all the way back to the wall. And it looks like I put the window so it's right above the corner of this one. So it should be about here-ish. And it would be lower than the door frame. So probably about here. Again, this is me going off of just random shots from the comic that I made forever ago when I didn't know what I was doing, and I still kind of do and don't. Okay, and then there's stuff hanging from the ceiling, would be hovering right over the counter. So the one corner should start about here. The other one should be about here. Yeah, with the little language that we're using there, Luke, you're not gonna be able to decrypt it. You just won't. Like, unless we tell you it, I don't think you're gonna be able to figure it out. And we're gonna leave it at that, because we might want to make a thing one day. Marshall, are you drawing the coyote? Probably. Once we start putting people in. At the moment, I'm just trying to figure out what I want the layout of this room to look like. I do know that there is a window here. That is the one thing I know for sure. What scene we're drawing today? We're trying to make a coloring page showing the inside of Macon's Diner. And having a bunch of the characters eating and stuff. Oh yeah, no, like the things that we're using, like, we're not just throwing down straight gibberish at all. It's just that it's not a direct, like, this one means A, this one means B, and we're just taking English and then putting these symbols in. That would be too easy. We went the crazy person route with it. And then I was complaining before because the counter was too long. Now I believe it is too short. Let's try extending it just to like this corner. Too easy, dude, even if they are letters, that's only 4 letters. We can't do anything with that. No, I mean too easy for us. We need to overcomplicate it for ourselves. Because I didn't have enough work on my plate. I was like, you know what we should also do? Come up with an entire language when neither of us know how to do that. Or at least I don't know how to do that. Okay. And then, okay. So in the drawings that I have, it looks like the menu sign is about centered on the counter. So if we're going with this layout, the way that we find the center, fun fact for any of you who are interested in learning how to do layouts, you make an X in this box. Where the X meets is the center line of the box, and then we take this and bring it to here. So if we wanted it to be center with the counter, the center of the sign on the wall has to be this red line here. So if we add it so it matches this, I'm gonna do this in a really dumb way. This should be... Nope, that's super off. I'm not exactly on the corners here, I guess. And I'm guesstimating the angle, so probably closer to here. A little bit closer. We're not going to get it exact on this one, but let's try and find the center between these two sides. Like so. Center line there, center line there. So that we put the board about like here. And that would be about center. That makes it very close to the window that he brings food out of. But now that I'm looking at this again, it looks like the window is smaller than the sign. It looks like that little window that I put in is pretty small. I'm looking at a screenshot from chapter 3, page 6. And like you can only see Macon from not even the top of his shoulder to like maybe his waist, so it's a pretty small window. Are you guys still talking about the symbols? Imagine Russell as a CIA agent. Interesting. Here I am, I'm trying to teach you guys how to make layouts. Even though I'm not doing a good job at making this layout. You're talking about glyphs. Okay, so let's bring this over a little bit. Ooh, wrong pencil. Yeah, because they do look pretty close to each other. The window isn't far from the menu, so I think that works. And because of all my math feeling, non-math things, I think this is the right place to have it. That's interesting. Okay, we're gonna ignore that. That's very strange. Okay. That's fine. Marshall is really hoping he might take inspiration on the interior from the realm. I haven't looked at the realm in quite a while, if I'm being honest. So I am not sure what it looks like. I think I did see over like Jasper's shoulder when he was in the realm that someone had like prettied up Macon's shop. But I don't remember what it looks like now off the top of my head. Is Macon a workaholic? I mean, probably. I feel like Macon would be the type of character who would have a lot of pride in his work, especially like smoking and curing meats. There's so many like little specifics and like perfecting a recipe that I could see him very much treating that like a science of like, we must do exactly this to get this outcome. So I think he would take a lot of pride in his diner. Yeah, exactly. He's an artisan and he would act like it, or he would treat his work as such. Yeah, the Minecraft stream did not do well. Like looking at the stats, it was very fun, and I'm sure we'll do one again at some point. Also, if we were going to do a Minecraft stream, I would have had to switch my entire setup to Jasper's laptop, because my laptop can't handle Minecraft as well. It wouldn't look nearly as pretty as it did in the stream. Okay. I think that's good as just a base. We can do like this, and we can do like this. I'm gonna lock these two so I don't accidentally draw in them like I usually do. And let's throw in some tables. So he has round tables. He has one that's close to being in front of this here. He's one that's over on this side. And then he has the one that Griff likes to sit at that's by the front window of the shop. So it'd probably be kind of in this, maybe closer to here. Oh wait, there's another shot. I almost put it exactly correct. Looking at the previous one, that's funny. Oh, and I just noticed a mistake on that page. Okay, we're gonna ignore that. There are so many mistakes. Eventually I'm gonna go back and redraw the entirety of chapters 1, 2, and probably 3. Crispy said he might have a playable demo for us next week, but could be misthinking. Yeah, and we're not going to be streaming next week because my birthday is next week and we're celebrating on Friday. So we're not going to be streaming that night. But maybe the one after that we'll do the Crispy's game. Yes, my birthday is in the week of next week. We're celebrating with your friends in August, but we're doing something else this Friday. We'll talk about it later. Yeah, thank you, thank you. I am aging. Okay. I really, really hate drawing circles in perspective shots like this. How's the best way to do this? Okay, I think what I'm gonna do, we're putting the base on the floor first, and then we're just raising them up and putting legs on them. So here's what I want to try to do, because I don't do this very often and I avoid drawing circles, but what can you do? Draw a square around the edges, Marshall. Yeah, we're gonna do something like that. So we're gonna start with a square. Yeah, that looks about right. The middle one here, to here, to here, to here. That looks about right. And this close one. Be about that. And then we're going to take this tool, change this to a bright red, and then we're going to make a circle. I hate when it pops up with this. Make this a bit thicker. Oh my gosh, just give me a normal number. 8. And then we're going to, nope, not that. Rasterize the layer. We're going to close this tag group because I don't like having it there. Transform, distort. And then we just put these corners on these corners. And it should be in perspective. I probably should have saved that for doing the table top, but that's okay. So now we know where we need to put the legs. No, okay. We're doing this a silly way. We're not going to do it this way. We make the whole box. It's easier when we can follow. If we can be right on the line, it is easier. This works. Just as close to accurate as possible. It doesn't need to be perfect. And you guys are talking about Minecraft, so I'm gonna just keep yapping about this. Okay. We want them to be about the same height. That is a bit wide for a table. It might be better if I raised it a little. How did I draw them in the comic? Yeah, they're not quite as wide. You're invested in perspective? That's good. That is all this is. Good night, Microwave. Thank you for joining us. Let's make these a little bit taller. I'll fix that one afterwards. And follow this line because that's easy. Can't follow the pink line, but that's okay. This one is right on the corner, so it's a bit harder to see. There, that looks good. It's a perfectly good cube. This one needs to be taller. I think his tables are all about the same height, but he has different types of chairs, depending on who needs to sit on them. And I think that makes the most sense, because it'd be easier to start with a tall table and then create taller and shorter chairs for people depending on their size. So like a big dude would get a shorter, thicker chair similar to Bernard's chair that Hazel sits in, while shorter folk would just get chairs with longer legs. Might be a bit of a hop to get on it, but at least they can sit at the table then. Adjustable bar stools. That would be good. And the corner's probably about here. This one, and then we'll just guess it. That works. Yeah, I think adjustable chairs would be really expensive. And this corner's probably like over here or something. I don't know. We're guessing. It's kind of a mess to look at, but don't worry about it. It's gonna get better. Probably. Don't need that anymore. Bring this back. And let's try this again. So we start with a perfectly round circle. Rasterize the layer so it stops being annoying. Close the tab group so it stops being annoying. Transform, distort, and then we match up these corners. I must be slacking lately. I used to be better at this. Or at least faster. Okay, and then we make a double of this one, and then just drop it down to about, let's say here. That's a little on the skinny side, but I think that works. We'll do this 2 more times. Rasterize, close, transform, distort, match the corners. Duplicate and drop it down. I want to try and match the other table. This one's a little bit further away, so it's probably about there. And now the nearest table. Rasterize. And distort. Right here, and then we gotta kind of guess that this corner should be about there. Here and here. Duplicate and drop it down, and it will go a little bit further down the other two because it is closer to the camera / viewer, whatever you want to call it. Can all be on one layer because I'm lazy and that's easier. Then we can get rid of these boxes. And we just give them some legs. Actually, I should keep the boxes open so I can kind of see about where the legs should be. Let's do the first one. kind of just eyeballing it for this part. I need this to be a little bit lower because this needs to be in line with this. But we can get away with eyeballing it at this point. Here, like so. And one over here. Just kind of like this. And we have 4 legs. I invented screws, by the way. Oh, good job. Should be good. And then on these tables I included like a square support underneath. It connects the legs. Move up there. And then we're just going to draw the leg through this table so that we know where it should. So everything lines up properly, and that if you try and guess, like, oh, it should line up with this down here, but then it's like very off kilter. You don't want that. Control S, good point. Yep. Thank you. Shouldn't see the bottom of these legs at all, thankfully. So just erase. Oops. And then we'll see a little bit. This one at the bottom here. His family keeps in touch with Nisha's family, right? Dude, we do not have that much written about Clive and Nisha. Yeah, that's very specific. I mean, we have a shot of Clive in Macon's Diner with a lynx who looks very much like Nisha, but I think I did change the design on Nisha from that one. But yeah, we haven't really written a ton of them. Y'all be like, Emma knows Daisy's maiden name, right? Okay. So we got some tables now. I'm just gonna very roughly sketch in some chairs because doing them with the correct perspective is significantly more annoying than doing tables. So it's just going to be a very rough sketch for now. So I'll do one stool fit for a bear. And maybe a taller stool for some smaller folk. Because, yeah, we don't want to block off too much of this. Because we want to be able to show off, you know, menu stuff, the stuff hanging from here, stuff on the counter. We're gonna have a person behind the counter, maybe Macon's walking around. So we want to try and keep this area clear. We don't want like a super tall character sitting right in front of the camera. Jasper, does Marlon drink his coffee black? Kind of question. Okay, so let's put... Actually, maybe I should finish the shirt. Yeah, we'll do it at the same time. So we'll do rough chairs, tables. Oh, this can just be gone. We don't need it. Background, rough. And we don't really need this anymore, but I'm just going to keep it just in case. So I'm going to go at the bottom. And a folder. So I don't have to look at it. And we'll do another one called Character Rough. So we can just start throwing in some random animals. Address the elephant. Please make the plushies available without Patreon. Yeah, if we did the plushies, it would be through their website. It wouldn't be through any of ours. It'd be like a separate thing. And I'm gonna end this poll now because it's been up for 46 minutes. I think we're done. Which, 93%, not bad. Scared by the 7%. 7% out of 29 votes. I don't know how many people that is. I can't do math. And maybe this bear is toasting the person next to them so we can have them holding up a drink of some sort. So we're trying to make this a big, happy, lively scene. I don't know which bear this is yet. That's okay. We'll just do generic bear shape for now, and then I'll decide later. Maybe it's Emma. And Velcar thimble. Maybe we'll add Velcar. And if this is Emma, maybe Emma's having a drink with Clive after work. You're right, Velcar doesn't shop at the meat store. He's a fruit guy. Hazel's the only fruit guy that would be hanging out in here. That type of bat mostly eats fruit, I believe, from doing a Google search in the last week or so. I'm just gonna lower the opacity a bit on these chairs so it's easier to see what I'm doing with these characters. This is too big for Clive. We got a little on the boat. There we go. I'll get you in. Walking into the meat store, hey, do you sell fruit here? Employee brother, look around. Hazel will be like, on her first day. Yeah. Okay, and we haven't actually shown this in the comic yet, and I almost wasn't gonna draw it tonight, but Jasper was like, nah, you should draw her in, but that deer that we came up with a while ago with the tusks works at Macon's shop. So she will be behind counter, taking an order. Yeah, Azalea, you're right. I have it on the board next to me. That's the only name of completely random side characters I can remember off the top of my head. Yep, the trans deer. So she's taking an order. And I'm gonna have to look up a that short again with her in it, because I don't fully remember what she looks like. She's on the board because you guys came up with the name during a stream and you ran over and wrote it down on the board for me, even though that's not what the board is for, and I never erased it. John Griffin Macon going hurry up in the back room. I don't think this window is big enough to show off either of them, because again, in the one screenshot I have, Macon is like in this pose through the window, and this is all you can see of him. Maybe we'll have... Okay, if we put a chair in this spot... So this is the Griff chair. I'm pretty sure it's just, yeah, basic round chair. I didn't really add a lot of detail to it. Or I should say round chair back. The rest of it is square. Something like this. That looks really terrible, but the Griff chair reminds me of that old Crispy fan art, don't do this to me. The second I said the Griff chair, I also thought of it, and it was a bad feeling. Okay. And then the chair that was once the Bernard chair is a bit lower than this one. And significantly thicker. Hey Jasper, can you give us one word other than Azalea that is written on the board? I want to give Luke something to obsess over. I'm sorry, I zoned out. What is the old Crispy fan art? Don't worry about it. I mean, I don't know why you're asking Jasper. I'm the one with the board. He's in the other room. And he's playing his nerd games. Okay, so this chair should actually be a little bit taller than this. I remember it word for word. Marshall, did you base Clive on a specific species of coyote? No. Not really. We get where I used to live with my parents, they get a lot of coyotes. So I feel like subconsciously he is based on that. And that maybe that's why I gave him a slightly annoying personality. Because the coyotes at my parents' house used to make me really mad. And then obviously we have to have Griff sitting in his chair. What do you think? How dare he piss on a wall? Clive is wonderful, I don't know what you mean. I guess I made him just, I don't know, mentally he's, I don't know, goofy. Anyways, what should Griff be doing here besides... I mean, I was gonna just draw him eating, but if you have a more fun idea than that, go for it. I was gonna ask what about Clive's fur pattern when he pissed. Why is it so much browner than any other time? Probably because he was in the background, and I usually put like a soft light or overlay layer on the backgrounds. To differentiate, so that the main characters stand out against the backgrounds. It wasn't nighttime, it was like afternoon or something. You are incorrect, Jasper, sorry. So I had like an orange or yellow overlay layer on it just to give it that kind of warm summer lighting. Marshall, would the creatures in Graycove use trash cans and have a system for trash pickup? No, I don't think they, like, they wouldn't have a lot of things that end up in the garbage for us, like plastic baggies and stuff like that. Like, they would be reusing and recycling old items. And like all the materials that they use would be for the most part reusable, and like for like vegetables and like food cut off and stuff like that, they would have like compost bins for stuff that can go in the compost anyways. But that is just off the top of my head, and I haven't put that much thought into their garbage disposal. But I don't think they would have a ton of waste with the lifestyle that they have. Y'all didn't notice that the only reason people didn't know where Griff and Hazel were is because they stopped talking when they walked through the gate, so Clive didn't notice them. That is true, yeah. That's like the main reason everyone was like, where did they go? Is because Clive didn't see them leave the town. It was just terrible timing on their part and his. Okay. If we're putting Hazel in the scene, she'd clearly be in this seat. We'll probably have to move the chair back actually a little bit just because her knees have to come up quite a bit. Turn back. Trashman raccoon. Yeah, that's a fun idea. Actually, I don't like this shape. Let's try again. More of a... If you do it, you gotta name him Jimothy or something. Yeah, the reason you get such specific questions is because this all seems to be very thought out to the point where you know what will happen in the next book. It's very, very thought out story-wise, but sometimes very specific world-building question, like what do they do with their garbage and do they have a garbage disposal system? We just haven't thought about. It hasn't come up yet in the story, so it doesn't exist in my brain. I mean, I was thinking about it a little bit the other day, just because I was thinking about like compost and stuff like that. But yeah, with Graycove, a lot of it is very, very carefully thought out and planned, and we know like exactly what we're gonna do and when we're gonna do it, and then for some of it we have no idea and we make it up on the spot. Or we change our mind on the spot. So like the rocks that are around Gordon in the recent couple of pages, I added them the night before the coffee page was supposed to go up with the line art. And I had a very specific reason for it, and they have a world building significance that I'm not going to get into. But again, for some of them, it's like I came up with this the day before, and now it is a lore thing that I have to go and add to my notes. And then a lot of things are just very carefully very, very carefully planned out. Please don't call me M.A. Rowling, I don't like it. Before Graycove had garbage disposal services, they would just throw garbage on the ground and magic it away. Yeah, please no. Marshall, I've asked you, but you didn't answer. Were those stones blue sphalerite? No, they are not blue sphalerite. M.A. Gordon is gay now. Yes, I have been saving. Thank you, birds. But yeah, it's a very fun mix of very carefully planned out and making it up on the spot. Yeah, the reference Jasper was making was J.K. Rowling once was like, yeah, wizards would just poop on the floor and then magic it away before plumbing was a thing. Which is a crazy person thing to say. Just say they had plumbing or something. It's a magic system. It doesn't matter. Hot take, not a fan of J.K. Rowling. Yeah, lots of people aren't. And she deserved the reputation because she is a bigot. Which was very sad for me because I grew up with Harry Potter, and before all of her transphobia came to light, she seemed like a progressive enough person. And I still really love the Harry Potter books. So yeah, exactly what Western Hall said. Harry Potter books, good. J.K. Rowling, not good. So I will always have a sense of nostalgia when it comes to Harry Potter, even if I don't care for the creator anymore. Marshall, what's Harry Potter's favorite way of getting down a hill? Walking. J.K. Rowling. Ah ha ha. Good one, Luke. Okay, no, I already asked, but what should these guys be doing? Probably in their guard uniforms. The books were good, but some things were a little odd, like the black character being named Shackle. I don't think it's Shacklebottom, I think it's Shacklebolt, but I completely agree that's a really weird choice. Like, when I was a kid, you don't see it, but rereading it as an adult, you're like, oh yeah, there's a lot of not okay things in here. Like I think only Asian character, Chinese character being named Cho Chang. Like, yeesh. I think, says Marshall, knowing 100% his name is Kingsley Shacklebolt. I mean, it's been... My Harry Potter phase was in, like, high school, and at one point, I did have, like, an encyclopedia-level knowledge about Harry Potter. I went through an entire trivia, like, stack of cards that had to do with it, and I think I got one wrong. Out of just an absolutely ridiculous amount of questions. But it's been years since I've, like, read the books or anything. I was more of a Moomin child. I kind of wish I had Moomin as a kid, because it looks really, like, cute and interesting, but I never heard of it until I was maybe in, like, my 20s or so. It just seems very cute. I'm probably not gonna actually watch it, but every once in a while I see a clip of it, I'm like, I should watch that because it looks really cute. One of my friends said the name was Shacklebottom once, and it became an inside joke. I honestly forgot the actual name. That's funny. Okay. Maybe he's just eating chicken. And Hazel's probably talking. Percy Jackson for me. Yeah, Percy Jackson is another one that I got into a little bit later. I think that was also my 20s when I finally read the books. Okay, our next not quite long enough. I hope Macon opens a restaurant chain called Macon Donald's. You know, I don't think this society is much of a chain restaurant kind of place. Makin's bacons. Making burgers. Okay, then maybe she's doing like a vague gesture of some kind. Maybe just hand resting on the table here. Making pancakes, making fried chicken, making bacon pancakes, Okay, and this looks like the perfect amount of space for Macon to be in. He's very tall. Maybe he is exiting the door over here and bringing food to whoever's at this table over here, so he's like partway there. And he's tall, so we gotta... Okay, too tall. Nope, that's not allowed. Make a bit skinnier. Kind of a skinny guy. Or not skinny, I guess. Lean, maybe? I don't know the right word. He's not wide. So question, who's Macon? Macon owns a shop in Graycove where Griff likes to eat lunch pretty much every single day that he works. And that's pretty much his entire role, and people really, really like him for some reason. And he'll be carrying it in this hand, I think. And maybe it's kind of up. He's holding it a little bit like this, just to create a bit better of a silhouette, and there's a nice amount of space between these two here. And then I'm also not cutting off Azalea. Yeah, Macon is a big lad. Reconnecting. Internet just went down. Good stuff. Oh, it says it reconnected. We're back? Okay. That scared me. I'm gonna save. I know the OBS thing wouldn't actually affect it, but I still have the fear. Let's move him over just a little bit. We don't really need to see that forward foot, and having it behind Griff's chair adds a little bit more depth to the drawing. You want overlapping items. Just curling like that a little bit. Marshall, you glitched out and repeated good stuff 5 times. I legit backed up from my laptop. That wasn't a glitch, that's just how I talk. Can we get Velcart selling fruit? He wouldn't sell fruit in someone else's business. Marshall, joking, you should set it up so you can donate 50 cents and it automatically saves your artwork. I have no idea how we would do that. Okay. This arm's a little too long. To there. There we go. And his apron. Okay. Megan doesn't look great in this, but it's okay. With this perspective, we should be seeing the underside of the tray, not the top of the tray. This is a little bit of an awkward angle. Maybe his just come a little bit more. Maybe he's carrying a drink and a plate of something meat shaped. I don't know. Okay, that's not too bad, but we have this big blank space in the corner that I think we could do something with. It is getting a little bit busy, but I think it's okay. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, the roof line should start about here, I believe. So you just see a little corner of roof there. An entire ostrich. Marshall, Jasper can set it up for... Have I drawn that corner of it? No. Oof, okay. Night Being Wanted poster. Not just on the floor. We need something to, like, be here. And, like, maybe that could just be, like, a barrel or something in the foreground, but that feels a little bit boring. What would they have in a restaurant? Barrel of monkeys. Okay. Did it freeze again? Never mind, we good? Wait, paper pirate hats? No. For the kids? Macon doesn't care about kids. I don't know. It might just be another table. The top of an empty chair, yeah. With the back of a chair there. Yeah, so it's just in the foreground, I guess. Why isn't... Oh, it switched me to white. That's annoying. Really close to the camera. Yeah, I guess that would work. Compost? No, they wouldn't keep compost in the restaurant. It would be out back. It gets stinky. Well, I don't care about the cannon. That's why Hazel has the power to burn retinas with her spots. Marshall, are you looking for something to fill the space? Yes. A toad skin rug? Man, that would take so many toads. Sure, for now, a giant wet stain. No! For now, I'm gonna put a chair here. I'll bring it up a little bit because, as I said, overlapping items make composition more interesting, and this cuts off that corner of the table right there. A hyena skin rug. I don't think that would be very comforting to walk into this nice cozy restaurant and then to look at the floor and see someone's skin. Not great. Big mold. No. I have several ideas ranging from bad to worse. Can't be that bad. Throw them out there. Big mushroom. Normally I love the idea of big mushroom, but not in a restaurant when it's not being eaten. Meal of the day. No, we don't have meal of the day, but I did just remember that there was a sign. That's funny, I have the original rough sketch for it, and it looks like I changed it quite a bit. Interesting. Okay. There is a 3 for 2 sale sign next to the menu, though, that I did forget about, but it's kind of behind this bear's head, so... A second smaller Macon. Okay, Marshall, maybe a couple of birds eating from a pile of crumbs. They wouldn't have birds in the restaurant, though. That would have the same vibe as having, like, cats in a restaurant, where it's like, I don't know if this is 100% food safe, because cats walk on just everything. Does Macon have kids? No, he does not have kids. Is he single? Yes. I think so. I don't think I planned... He's focused on his career right now. Nothing pleases this fella. Sorry, I have to leave for a bit to look at Lego sets. Fair enough. Macon's wife is the love of the game. That's funny. Okay, well, let's put in some of the stuff here. In the original art, he has fish hung up on this side, and he has cured meats hung up on this side. And it looks like I used meat hooks for the cured meat and just rope or something for the fish. Top of an A-frame sign. That is a bit better. I might put an A-frame sign like back here somewhere, closer to the counter. Trophies. A photo of one of his dishes, I don't know. Marshall, as I said, bad ideas. Yeah, you can throw out as many bad ideas as you like. I'm still probably gonna make fun of them just a little bit. Mead hook stain your mead. That's funny. Okay, this one I just had linked sausage. Marshall, okay, hear me out. A witch's room, but specifically the one from the Misadventures of Fia. In Graycove, it could just be used to clean the restaurant, but we know its history. That is very fun. I I don't think perspective-wise it would work here, because we would just see like the stick of it in front of the camera. But maybe we can have... Well, we still can't really see it if it's over there. Maybe it's like over here. Like they were just sweeping up a little while ago or something. Yes, Fia skin? Fia skin rug? No. Okay, we won't see the rest of it because Macon's head is in the way. I'm just thinking what people would leave in the restaurant I work at. LOL, tray of food that fell. Oh, can Griff get a heap of turkey bacon? Marshall? I don't know what I'm saying. What about big coin? Yeah, Griff can have a plate of bacon. Why not? He's eating chicken, but it also came with bacon. Probably should have finished drawing his elbow. Like the kind that are stuck in the road with the holes. Yep, those are big coins, alright. A hole with someone falling in. Make Griff stealing a fork like we always do. The first review of Macon's restaurant framed. Griff, you cheap canine, I hope you never find Bernard. That's funny. It would be cute if he had like a little review of his restaurant just on the wall. We wouldn't be able, it wouldn't be legible all the way over there. Maybe he has it in the back room, if we ever design that. The back of that chair looks like a tombstone. Make it daisies. No, I don't think so. Hello, popping in to say hi. Hi, Dr. Pepper. Right, okay. I keep trying to draw stuff. You guys are very distracting. Big fish. Here. That's not what fish tail looks like. Wait, guy's new merch idea, paperweight, but it's Daisy's grave. You're on to something, Crispy. And we could make it ourselves. We just go pick up some about fist-sized rocks from outside, paint the word Daisy on it, ship it out, we're good. I'm businessman, this is how you do business. Yeah, $50 for this rock I found outside. Painted on very poorly. Control S, thank you. Merch idea, skeleton drugs. I think we would go to jail if we tried to sell that. Okay. I think this is a solid rough sketch we got going here. Wait, what if inside each rock there's a piece of Daisy's body? Buy more rocks, unlock more body parts, then assemble Daisy. That's really funny. You paint with the rocks. Oh my god, you guys are killing me. Okay. We are going to start, I think, from the front and work our way back in cleaning this up a bit. So I'm gonna look up a simple chair design really quickly, just so I'm not using the exact same chair at every table. We can mix it up a little bit, especially for this foreground one, and make it look a bit nicer. And chair. Okay. Too much of an angle, I think. Okay, I think that's already a little too big. I'm just gonna shrink this down a smidgen. Come on. Daisy, but she's Mr. Potato Head. Okay, very top of the chair should be about here-ish. Ooh, different chair? Yeah, just we're not using the exact same chair design. It's like same face syndrome, same chair syndrome. Because I don't like drawing chairs. That's why you don't like drawing cars. A car contains 4 to 6 chairs, so your hatred compounds. Oh yeah, car, whatever happened to that car video? Short film. Yeah, we privated it. I want to go back and make some changes to it. Yeah, that's good enough. I thought it was perfect, but you are the creator, so I appreciate that. I was rushed in making that because I had a very strict deadline if I wanted to be able to graduate. So, like, the rigs were not very good. The character designs have kind of changed over time. And just a lot of other stuff. Some of the animation in it was not good. There are just some things I want to fix when I get the chance. And I'd eventually like to make a new short film with the characters. And I keep saying that I'm gonna do that. It's gonna probably be a while before I actually get started just because I don't have the time right now. And even just creating the school one that was my main focus. It took me over 6 months. Marshall, if you were making your animated short, can Jasper be cast as Russell? Yeah, we would probably like hire the same guy Crispy used or something. I don't know. Dropping by to say hey, have a great night, don't forget to stay hydrated. Well, thank you. Much appreciated. Yeah, like the voice actors I used were great, but they were just my friends at school. They weren't like professional voice actors. So I'm probably not going to use them again. Again, not to say that they didn't do a great job, but I think there would be a bit of a quality difference if we hired a professional voice actor. Yeah, Jasper does not want to be Russell. And that is fine. Okay, well thank you for joining us, birds. Have a good rest of your evening if we don't see you again. I intentionally went with voice actors that deviated a bit from what you and Jasper imagined the characters would sound like. I wanted the voice work to have this unfamiliar aura to it. Yeah, fair enough. I'm interested to see who you picked. I'm sure they'll be great. So where's the 100k special? Is it a short? Yeah, there's a short walk animation I made for the characters. And then we also did a live stream for the 100k, which was our Minecraft stream. Or was that 200k? That was 200k. Walk is 200k also. 100k was the computer. You guys are right. I'm dumb. Minecraft was 200. Right. Oh, right. I said they're probably wearing their armor because they're here for lunch. Or after work supper or something. Well, thank you for joining us, Dr. Pepper. We'll see you next time. You'll hear all of them when you play the game next stream. My Griff voice actor is a smelly little rat who I'm gonna throw out my window. Okay. In a friendly way? Well, as long as it's friendly. Ask what again? Yeah, I might have. Jasper, I think Wolf asked if they can use scenes from the comic for wallpapers. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I don't have any issue with that, I don't think. Like, you're just using it for, like, your phone or computer or whatever. Like, you're not, selling it to people or something like that, so... Yeah, if you want to, like, edit pictures and stuff to just use them as the wallpaper on your phone, go for it. Wait, one more parting thing, Control S. Thank you. Yes, I saved, guys. Thank you, though. I still gotta get my question answered. Why was my Griff shitpost getting deleted? If it was on the community page, I haven't deleted any posts lately, but sometimes YouTube will hold them and filter it. So I'll take a look after the stream, because that might be what happened. I'm not really good at checking the holds for comments or posts. I just kind of forget to do that. So I'll take a look after the stream, and if it's in there, then I'll unhold it. Provided it's not something like distinctly inappropriate, which it probably isn't. Especially if it's just a shit post, like, that should be fine. Pretty tame to me, probably, that all the little things got compressed. Oh, yeah. Probably. I mean, YouTube holds stuff for the silliest reasons sometimes. So yeah, it was probably just that. I delete a lot of my posts if I don't like it. Yeah, fair enough. We generally don't delete any of the posts. I don't think we've seen anything that we've thought like, oh, that probably shouldn't be up. So we just leave it. We do check it. I check it every day, usually a couple of times, but we haven't seen anything, I don't think, that we've had to delete. Yeah, and Jasper hasn't deleted any either. I think the only things I've deleted have been comments, and most of the time it's because it's like a weird spam bot comment, where they'll put a link in it that's not safe to click on, so I'll delete those if I see them. And usually those don't even get flagged, which is great. But it hasn't happened too much lately. I think it was more so a couple months back, maybe longer, that we were even seeing them. Chat, should I practice guitar or not? I'm returning to lessons first week of August, so I really would like to get a couple things done before I go back, but at the same time I don't wanna. Dude, just go practice. You will regret it later if you don't. You will not regret it later if you do. Still working on the matriarch art. Nice. Just working on Cherry now. This is a really fun point in the drawing where I draw everything kind of overlapping, so like you can see all of Hazel through the table, and I have to remind myself that we're not drawing that, we're drawing just the parts we can see. Fine, but only because Marshall said so. I'll keep the stream in the background. Yes, good. Listen to me. X-ray Hazel. Ghost table. That's funny. Listen to MA rolling. Ugh. Okay, I think. Kind of mid. I think I'm gonna have his tail sticking out here actually. I'll draw it on a different layer on top just so I can see a bit clearer. Marshall, can you pin Crispy's message about the voice actors? I can, I just need a second. Also guys, don't message me if you want to voice act in my game, I appreciate it, but if I'm looking for voice actors, they'll be done via casting call. I'm guessing that's the one you mean? And yes, I can pin that. Marshall, you made a big deal earlier about not wanting same chair / face syndrome, so I don't know why you're not more upset that your drawing has same perspective syndrome. That's funny. Yeah, Jasper can't do that unless he's logged in. I'm sitting in a really dumb way and my back is hurting now. The consequences of my own actions. This probably works. I'll just erase a bunch of this stuff. The nice thing about this as well is I don't have to figure out where his other leg's gonna go. I just put a tail in front of it and then I don't have to draw it. And that's how I get away with stuff. I'll just merge these together and we're good. One time my grommet mug took 4 months to arrive and then it did. I broke it the first week. That's unfortunate. Marshall and I bought a $500 painting that isn't coming until October, ? Yeah, that was for my birthday though. we went halvesies on it. Cause I saw it and it's limited edition embossed with gold foil, signed and numbered by the author, or artist, sorry, not author. And it's beautiful, and if I didn't buy it, it would have haunted me. So I was like, you know what? This is a birthday present. We will both like it. I'll pay half because it's very expensive. Wait, also I saw Project Hail Mary and all I gotta say is beautiful, right? It's such a good movie. I want to watch it again. Cried over a rock with legs, straight up, same. We watched it in theaters, and I have a big thing about not crying in public, but that movie got me. Maybe we'll give Hazel a salad over here. She's not eating because she's talking. But she still has it. Damn, maybe I should watch it. You should! Also, the book is also so good. I loved all the science in it, even though I didn't understand a word of it, but it sounded very convincing. Saw it on the plane from Peru and it felt like a 4D experience. That was so hype. Nice. Anytime I practice smoke on the water, I feel like I'm gonna snap one of my strings. Fair enough. I have the book on digital right now. Nice. It is a very good book. I liked seeing the differences in the movie and like what creative changes they decide to go with. And a lot of it makes sense. Like some people were saying like, oh, this is very different from the book, so like they did a bad job. I don't think so. It has the core feeling of the book they managed to capture in the movie, and they have to make changes because if we just watched like 4 hours of some guy doing math, you would get bored. So like even though there are some like big differences between the two, I feel like the main feeling behind the book they captured really, really well, and like the design that they made for Rocky was just perfect in my opinion. And like the mannerisms and like the voice that they gave him, they did such a good job. And like I think Strat is the name of the main lady. Like they nailed her. She was perfect. They did such a good job. The actress was wonderful. I love how there was so much payoff from the setup and how Grace used his environment to solve problems. Agreed. Apparently you liked it. You cast Russell as a sentient rock. Yeah. No, absolutely. Hands down, Strat is on my top 10 characters. Same. Like, she's just so interesting as a character. I don't watch movies often, but I might. Okay, I'll stop talking about it. But, like, go watch it. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. They did a fantastic job. I will take this advice. Good. Have you seen The Odyssey? Not yet. I think we were gonna go the other night, but I wasn't feeling the best, so we didn't. We might go this weekend or something, I don't know. Oh yeah, we watched Masters of the Universe at home instead. It's a weird movie. Finally did my drawing practice. I've procrastinated for too long. That's a mood. It was fun. Not a fearsome Odyssey purist, though. People were complaining about the outfits, but that's something you can get around. See, I don't think... Like, a lot of people make a big deal about book adaptations into movies and like expecting it to be 100% like the book, but that just doesn't work. You can't do that, and like you're trying to fit an entire book that is potentially like 300 to 600 to 800 pages long depending on the book into such a short time period. That there's, no matter what, there's always something that you're gonna miss. So I And some of my favorite adaptations are almost nothing like the book, but they have the core feeling of it behind it. So, like, The Haunting of Hill House is a beautiful novel. It's wonderful. I loved it. It's so well written. I like Shirley Jackson a lot. But, like, the TV show is completely different. You know, they made so many, like, creative interpretations and changes to it. But it is one of my favorite TV shows, and I still think they did a really good job of, like, keeping Shirley Jackson's narrative and voice in it, even if the plot is just completely different again. People are complaining about the Percy Jackson TV show, but, like, the books are from Percy's perspective and the show is not. It's going to be different. Yeah, exactly. So a lot of books, when they have that, like, you're getting their constant inner monologue and narrative for everything, you can't express that in a TV show or a movie, really. Not unless they're narrating the entire time, I guess. The narrating is annoying unless it's a documentary about otters, then I don't mind. Yeah, I think it depends on... I think it depends on the show. When wondering it, since you drew her, Hazel can't be comfortable doing that. She probably isn't comfortable. Her knees are, like, all the way up. That wouldn't be the most comfortable way to sit for a long period of time. Says Marshall sitting like that for a long period of time. Yeah, I do sit in some really dumb poses. With narration, it comes down to creative vision. Yes, like it depends. I've watched some shows where it gets really annoying. I've watched some shows where I really love it. It depends on the voice of the character, I guess, and how well it plays into the plot. Posted my matriarch work in progress fan art, proud of it. Nice. Take a look after the stream. I'll take a look at it. Okay, I definitely drew her leg too long here. Maybe have her foot a little bit higher here. Marshall, sometimes I work on the RPG laying on my stomach and kicking my feet in the air. That's funny. when I was in the fine arts program at college, we'd be working on like really, really big pieces of paper that were just like masking taped to a board, and I didn't have a good desk setup, so I straight up would just like lay on my stomach or like sit crisscrossed and then just like lean forward to be leaning on my stomach in the most like pretzel shaped disaster, and I probably hurt the heck out of my back doing that, but it was kind of the only thing that worked at the time. Like the wrestle drawing? Yeah, exactly. We artists prove every day that we are our biggest enemies emotionally and physically. Yeah, you are not wrong. Griff yells at me and I flinch like an abused child. Oh no. Hazel yells at me and I smile like a well-loved child. I realized my posture was bad and was hunched over my strap. Like the contours are there and stop that, and somehow still managed to do it. Yeah, I often hunch while I'm working and get into an awful like shrimp posture, and it's not good for my back. Or shoulders, or neck. Shrimps is bugs, Marshall is shrimps, Marshall is bugs. No, Jasper is bugs. He is in my phone as Bug Boy. Sometimes when you finish / take a break from art, it hurts from the position. Yeah, it's the second you like straighten your back, it's like, oh, I'm in a lot of pain. I was doing something stupid. I can see Marshall being a beetle and Jasper a spore. Ben knows I bug him all the time. True. I do that. I'll have to force myself to straighten out when I stand up. Yeah, I'm getting better at checking my posture every once in a while, but it's still not great. Especially if you like really lock in while you're drawing and you just stop feeling any physical discomfort, including hunger and thirst. And then a couple hours pass and you're like, oh no. Oh dear. Nice, okay. Now lower the opacity even more, I think, on some of this, because it's a little hard to see what I'm doing. Yeah. You know what? How about in addition to the Control S, we also say check your posture? Yeah. It's not a bad idea. I'm not gonna hold you to it, but... I drink water or eat a beer at least. I don't like beer. Oh no, I don't think we want a drunk drying stream. Yeah, I don't think you want a drunk drying stream. When I drink, I get loud. And the whole trying not to curse on stream thing will absolutely go out the window in 5 seconds. I'm getting my meat on tomorrow and I'm so excited. Alright, we might be going to a Ren Fair. So we're gonna get our meat on. A couple of years ago my dad made homemade mead using the honey from his beehives and wild blueberries that we picked. And it was so delicious. It was so good. And he doesn't want to make it anymore just because it was a lot of work and he used a lot of his honey. And that stuff is like liquid gold. Harvesting it is a huge pain. But it was fantastic. Apparently the farmer's market also sells bottles of meat on Saturdays. They do. I saw one, I think like 2 weeks or so, probably longer. I went to the farmer's market with my cousin and we saw the mead booth and I was tempted. We'll pop that in. It's fine. I'll remember. Right, I should probably draw her chair. Well, we get to see more of Russell's sober personality this chapter. I wonder what he's like when not high, just existing. Yes. I won't say any more than that because I don't want to spoil things, but yes, you will see more of Russell. Like, technically, no, I guess, but yes, in a sense. Never say more than you're comfortable answering. I would hate to be a burden. I will never answer more than I want to if I don't want to. Don't worry about that. Okay, I think... Oh, no, we're missing this leg over here. I will add some shape to this, just so I don't get confused later about which table leg it is. Oh, you know what? I forgot something. That is my bad. Very minor thing. I said it, guys. It's a short chapter. The theories are real. No, it's gonna be a long chapter. The one I'm working on currently, I want to post 2 pages at the same time for reasons. You will understand the reasons when you see them. So I've been working like crazy, trying to make sure they're done in time. Yeah, this is gonna be like one of our longer chapters. This comic is such a reaction image for him sometimes. Yeah, I wanted to make, wow, I did this really badly. I wanted to make a compilation video of just all of the really silly expressions that we've made so far in the shorts and in the comic. But I am having trouble finding a funny audio clip that could go with that, if that makes sense. Okay, Marshall and Jasper, I'm expecting this chapter to be 50 pages long. Probably not 50 pages, but I'm currently working on page 10 and 11, I think, and we still have a ways to go, so it's probably not going to be 50, but it's still going to be pretty long. Y'all are making it hard to practice. There's so much stuff I'm having fun talking with y'all about. Fair enough. Man, we haven't seen Guard Hazel or Griff in a while. I know, right? There was a split second where I was like, what does their armor look like? Also, I forgot to give him... Oops. The back little strap of his shin guard. By the way, I'd like to thank you and Marshall for replying to my email. That was very polite, and I can't say many other artists would do such a thing. Y'all are great. Just wanted to put that out there before bed. Good night. Yeah, of course, dude. Don't worry about it. Just forgot to give him back. Stop right there, criminal scum. Okay, for this one, I forgot to draw chairs, so I will have to add them in after the fact. I'm just gonna quickly, just so I know which egg is which. Okay. I will do that after. I want to work on these guys now. Let me quickly pull up a picture of Emma because I'm forgetting what she looks like and I don't want to mess it up. Where did we show Emma? Chapter 6? Yeah. Page Page 7. Yeah. There she is. I just realized I have to draw normal sprites and battle sprites for guard, outfit, Hazel, and Griff. Oh no. I mean, you could just not. It could take place when they're on suspension. So they're not putting their... they're not putting their guard outfits on. Marshall isn't webtoon on page 7. How are you already working on 10 and 11? I try and work as far ahead as I can. Because, like, I already know there's a bunch of stuff that's going to be popping up this month in particular. Like, my birthday is coming up. My brother's wedding is coming up. There's just a lot of stuff that's happening. And then Coffee and Patreon goes up 1 week before the webtoon page goes up. So I like to be a bit ahead. So like when we have I think up until August 7th is finished. The 31st for webtoon and Coffee. And then I was just finishing up page 10 today, the line art, so that'll go up on August 7th. But I need page 2 to go up with it, so I need to get started on that. Congrats for your brother. Thank you. Right, I was drawing Emma. Okay. She has big, fluffy eyebrows. And a bit of a rounded nose. I did save, thank you. Also check your posture, yes. And she got big nostrils grizzly bears have. Yes, I checked my posture, thank you. And she has whiskers. I realized this chapter that I had been drawing Russell with whiskers in the previous chapter, and I hadn't been in this one. So for now, I'm going with he shaved them for aesthetic purposes. And I will fix them later. Or add them in after the fact. But it's too late now. Big Emma, imagine her having tea with her tiny teacup that reflects her tiny salary. Okay, and then I give her the, I guess, lip the grizzly bears have. I keep forgetting Emma is a grizzler. Yeah. Because she's a grizzly bear, she has the grizzly bear hump on her back. Sorry you won't see the Hazel plush in this version of the game that you will play. Don't hurt me. I'm so disappointed. A whole year? Next year? That's so long to make us wait. Come on, Crispy. I want to say fall 2027? That's evil. Boy, I gave y'all money. Exactly one person who showed us a picture of a completed plush. You know, yeah, I think you're right. I was gonna say, I feel like we've gotten two, but yeah, no, I think we only have the one. Well, thank you for joining us, Andon Bailey. Hopefully we'll see you next time. I also am lazy, sorry. That's fair. Marshall Jasper, I start school soon again, so game making time is gonna be cut short. I've got lots of plans with Graycove that I'm working on with my team. Well, that's cool to hear. Yeah, Jasper's also starting school again soon. I'm sorry I can't stay, I have to sleep. Well, thank you for staying for the time you could. God, I'm gonna have so many nerds to shove into lockers when I get back. Who are you trying to fool? You are the nerd. I fed her peas with red stuff and she broke my dog. What? I was just gonna say shoving yourself into a locker. One time in my high school, they found a locker stuffed to the brim with goldfish. Weird. No, Marshall Jasper gave me a wet willy, slapped me until I went 360 and folded me into a symmetrically pleasing shape. Okay. Man, I miss lead paint taste. Okay. Oh my god, it's already 9:10. This time got away from me. Probably a question you get a lot, but do you take commissions just considering it? Yeah, no, sorry. We absolutely do not have the time to be taking on commissions right now. I might be doing a commission for one of my coworkers, and that is already overwhelming enough. Marshall, what if I give you $50 to quickly draw a very, very, very rough sketch of Foster joyously drinking an Inca Cola, Peruvian soft drink, like during a stream? Yeah, sure, maybe during a stream that is not this stream, and maybe check ahead of time before sending $50. I will consider drawing a very, very rough sketch of Foster joyously drinking an Inca Cola. I'm gonna unplush your Hazel. That's funny. Okay, not bad, not bad. Griff Foster ship is crazy. Is there a Griff Foster ship? I don't think I've heard of that one. What am I doing? Just has basic nose. Actually, what does Clive look like? Where did I draw him last? Not this chapter. Yeah, that one works. Okay. We started it, Marshall? Of course. Yeah. I swear one of you just said that right. Was I hallucinating? Jasper, you are causing more ships to happen. You need to stop. I'm sorry to add on to my Graycove fandom crimes. Not Hazel Foster. Hazel X Foster would never happen. Foster too stinky. Well, now we gotta make it happen. Foster and Hazel, to me, would be more likely than Griff and Foster. I don't think either are particularly likely, but I do think Hazel is more likely than Griff. Chemistry isn't Foster grabbed Hazel's ear, yelled down her face. Okay, that's a good point. That's not a great start. That is perhaps a little toxic. I was forgetting that part. Guys, why am I still number 2 when I left for a solid 30 minutes? I have no idea. The ranking system makes no sense to me. I don't know how it works. Like how Macon is John's service sector. Okay. Oh wait, I think Macon still would be in front of Clive's. So we'll leave that for now. Like the Doom guy, John Doom. Okay, now let me find a picture of Macon. There we go, side profile, that helps. Dude, I wish I started doing ADHD video game YouTubing in 2005 instead of being like 8. I could have been John Markiplier. That's funny. Oh wait, I didn't give him fluff on his jawline. Dude, in 2010 I was flopping around sucking on carpets when I should have been mining Bitcoin. Well, we're coming up on 9:30 here, which is when we wrap up our streams, as per usual. So if you do have any final questions, now is the time. While I finish cleaning up our boy Macon here. Usually get in the line like this. And he's got some face markings that I always get confused about, so I don't forget them later. Why isn't Velcar Thimble in the photo? Because he's like 2 inches tall. And this is a meat shop. Jasper would have abstracted. My whole life I thought my life was cringe compilation. Now I know that it was one big bruh moment. Why are you buying fruit at the meat store? Will this be finished for Coffee, Patreon, etc.? Yeah, so this will be the coloring page for August. Oh, thank you, Ben. That's very nice of you. I couldn't think of a question, so I panicked. Will there ever be physical copies of Graycove? I mean, that is the ultimate goal. And it'd be nice once it's finished to get it in front of like an actual publisher and not just self-publish. but we are nowhere near finished enough to get it published. And even once we do finish like the first story arc, I want to go back and like just completely redo chapters 1 through 3. And there's a lot of other stuff I have to fix throughout. I have a very long list going of just like, you messed up on this page, like in this panel you did blah. So if we ever do make physical copies, it'll be very, very, very far in the future. That looks good. That looks like a making. But I think this is a good place for us to end for the evening. I was hoping that we would get to Azalea as well, but not quite. But you will see this up on Patreon and Ko-fi sometime in August, when I'm able to finish it. Yes, save. It is saved. Definitely a break between arcs. Yeah, once we're done story arc 1, there will be a long break before we start working on book 2. We have to plan everything out a bit clearer. There's a lot of art that's got to be made before we can even get started on the comic stuff. So it's going to be a very, very long process. We're going to be here for a while, hopefully. But I hope you guys had fun. And we will see you next week. And if you haven't checked out the comic page yet, go do that. Okay, see you next time.